Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I, Niklisina Aisyah binti Muhammad Bataf, will present about my research about investigating the impact of problem-based learning (PBL) on the cognitive development of students in mathematics subject. So this is the content of my research. We start with chapter 1, Introduction. Okay, the background of the study. The study highlights the importance of exploring instructional methods like PBL to foster cognitive development, particularly in primary school mathematics education. While traditional approach often prioritize memorization, PBL encourage deep understanding and application of concepts. Previous research suggests positive impacts of PBL on problem solving and critical thinking skills, but further investigation is needed, especially in mathematics education. Through experimental research, this study aims to fill this gap, contributing to effective instructional practices and enhancing cognitive development among primary school students. And next, the problem of the statement. The problem statement emphasized the need to explore the impact of PBL on primary school students' cognitive development in mathematics education. Existing research lacks consistency, prompting a rigorous randomized control trial (RCT) to assess PBL's effectiveness. With mathematics proficiency crucial for academic success, this study aims to provide valuable insights to enhance teaching practices by considering factors like student engagement and teacher training. And next, the purpose of the study. The study aims to explore how PBL affects the cognitive development of Year 6 students in ratio and proportion compared to traditional methods. Objectives include assessing students' cognitive levels in mathematics, analyzing the impact of PBL on cognitive development, and evaluating its effect on problem-solving skills. Research questions address students' initial cognitive levels, differences between PBL and traditional methods, and the influence of PBL on problem solving. Hypotheses examine significant differences in cognitive development and changes in pretest or post-test scores with PBL. Okay, next, the scope and limitations of the study. Okay, this study focuses on assessing the impact of PBL on the cognitive development of Year 6 students in selected Sekolah Kebangsaan (SK) within the Tuaran district. It specifically evaluates mathematical achievement in the topic of ratio and proportion using pretest and post-test scores. This study involves 30 students and in the control group and 31 students in the experimental groups from SK. However, its scope is limited to this specific district and grade level, and the sample size is relatively small. And next, we go to significance of the study. Okay, the study examines how PBL impacts Year 6 students' cognitive development in ratio and proportion compared to traditional methods. Its findings aim to guide evidence-based practices in primary school maths education, benefiting students, educators, and policymakers. Additionally, It may address educational disparities and contribute to broader educational research, practice, and policy, supporting student success in the 21st century. Okay, the operational definition of terms. We start with PBL, problem-based learning. PBL engage students in solving real-world problems collaboratively, fostering critical thinking and deep conceptual understanding in mathematics education. Okay, for the cognitive level, cognitive development in this study refers to the gradual improvement of intellectual capacities essential for mathematical competence, including problem solving, critical thinking, and conceptual understanding, particularly focusing on tasks related to ratios and proportions in primary school mathematics. Okay, move on to chapter 2 about literature review. Okay, the first one, the introduction. This chapter 2 will review past studies related to the objective of this research, explaining key terms and concepts. PBL emerged as a significant pedagogical strategy in mathematics education, fostering deep conceptual understanding and critical thinking skills. PBL also engaged students in real-world problem-solving tasks, promoting collaboration and active participation, and it enhanced cognitive development by encouraging critical thinking, collaborative inquiry, and metacognitive skills. Thus, understanding the relationship between PBL and cognitive development is crucial for effective instruction. Okay, research theory or model of this study. Okay, the first research theory is Piaget's, Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Piaget stated that with its stages like concrete operational stage within age 7 to 11, it provides a framework for understanding on how PBL can impact primary school students' cognitive growth. This stage is characterized by logical reasoning and problem-solving abilities aligning well with PBL tasks. PBL emphasizing active discovery and group work, it fits Piaget's notion of experiential learning. Thus, PBL activities are believed to suitably engage students at this developmental stage, promoting their cognitive development. Okay, the second theory is Vygotsky sociocultural theory. All right. Vygotsky sociocultural theory, it's focused on the zone of proximal development, ZPD, and cultural mediation. It provides insight into how PBL impacts primary school student cognitive development in mathematics. PBL aligns with Vygotsky principles by engaging students within the ZPD, promoting peer interaction and leveraging cultural tools like language. This collaborative approach fosters both mathematical understanding and language skills influenced by cultural historical context. Teachers can enhance PBL effectiveness by considering classroom norms and societal attitudes towards mathematics education as highlighted by Vygotsky theories. Okay, the third theory is Bruner's theory of constructivism. All right, Bruner's theory of discovery, learning, and scaffolding, explain how this PBL supports cognitive development in elementary maths. PBL engage students in real-world problem solving, guided by teachers. Through active exploration and structured supports, students can build problem-solving skills and cognitive flexibility. Turner's constructivism theory aligns with PBL by emphasizing active, scaffolded learning for cognitive growth. Right. The last theory is Ausubel theories of meaningful learning. Ausubel's theories emphasize connecting new knowledge with existing cognitive structures. PBL in elementary maths should leverage prior knowledge, enhancing comprehension, and advanced organizers help prepare students for problem-solving tasks by establishing foundational knowledge. PBL encourage meaningful reception learning, where the students actively integrate new knowledge. Overall, Ausubel's theory supports the idea that PBL fosters deeper learning and transfer of mathematical concepts by leveraging pre-existing knowledge and promoting active engagement. Right, findings of the previous study. Alright, the first study is the effect of problem-based learning on cognitive skills in solving geometric construction problems. A case study in Kazakhstan by Tursinkulova, et and more in 2023. Alright, the study uses a quasi-experimental design to assess how PBL impacts cognitive skills in geometric construction problem solving. It aims to enhance critical thinking, logical reasoning, and decision making through PBL. A validated questionnaire measures cognitive skill development alongside demographic data collection. Results indicate varying effects of PBL on cognitive skills, highlighting the importance of tailored instructional approaches. Instructional equation modeling SEM reveals positive relationships between critical thinking, problem solving, and logical reasoning. Overall, findings contribute to optimizing student learning outcomes through PBL. The second study, previous study, is the effectiveness of problem-based learning in mathematics by Padmavati and K in 2013. All right. This study compare PBL and conventional teaching methods in math education. This study aimed to enhance critical thinking and problem solving skills using a pre-test and post-test designed with 60 students. PBL showed significantly better post-test scores than conventional methods. Gender analysis indicated equal benefits for boys and girls. These findings support PBL's effectiveness in improving maths achievement and fostering positive attitudes towards learning. PBL can cultivate creative thinkers and effective problem solvers, crucial for success in today's competitive world. And next, the last chapter, which is chapter 3, research methodology. In the introduction, this chapter describes the method used in the study. The parts discussed are study design, study place, study samples, research instrument, validity of questionnaire, items, reliability, pilot studies, study variable, data collection method, data analysis method, study operational framework, and conclusion. All right, first, research design. As we can see, we have intake groups, which is two experimental group and control group. We have measurement of observation, application of independent variable, and measurement of observation. For experimental group, it receives intervention, but for the control group, it does not receive intervention. Okay, the study utilized random sampling involving 61 respondents from schools, which is 61 students from schools in the Tuaran district, with 30 students in the experimental group and 31 in the control group. Random sampling enables comparison between groups, essential for assessing the effectiveness of PBL on cognitive development, specifically in racial and professional learning. All right, next we talk about sampling method. The study includes year 6 students from 85 primary schools in the Tuaran district, necessitating sampling. Simple random sampling is employed due to, due to the experimental nature of the study, ensuring fair selection for measurement cognitive development. However, the results are not generalizable to all schools. Specifically, the sampling involves year 6 students from one school in Tuaran, totaling 61 students. Okay, the research instrument. I use pre-test and post-test. The pre-test and post-test, each comprising 5 questions, assess the impact of PBL learning on students' cognitive development in mathematics, specifically focusing on ratio and proportion, administered at the beginning and at the end of the study, respectively. They align with the Year 6 Mathematics Standard Base Curriculum and Assessment document. By comparing scores from both days, the researcher evaluates the effectiveness of PBL. Okay, this is the conceptual framework. Independent variable is PBL method. The dependent variable is cognitive development. All right. This study's conceptual framework illustrates PBL as the independent variable implemented with the experimental group while the control group received traditional instruction. The main component involved are teachers and students. The dependent variable is students, cognitive development, specifically in learning ratio and proportions, assessed through pretest and post-test achievements. The study aims to demonstrate the effectiveness of PBL in enhancing students' cognitive development. We move to intervention procedure. You can see this pretest, control group with traditional learning, and experimental group with problem-based learning method. Right. The study follows as experimental research designed to investigate the PBL on students' cognitive development in topic ratio and proportion. It begins with a pretest to assess students' initial cognitive levels, followed by PBL intervention for the experimental group, while the control group receive traditional instruction. PBL involved problem-solving methods and real-world problems to explore concepts after the intervention. A post-test similar to the pre-test is administered to assess cognitive development. Data collected will be analyzed using the prescribed method. Okay, the pilot study was conducted with 61 year 6 students, split into experimental group, 30 students, and control group, 31 students, groups from a school in Tuaran's district. Both groups took a pretest, after which the experimental group received PBL, teaching for a 1 hour session, while the control group received traditional teaching methods for ratio and proportion year 6. Following the session, students completed a 15 minutes post test. The data collection procedure. The study commenced after securing permission from the school and consulting with the involved teachers. Data collection began with both experimental and control groups undergoing a pretest. Following this, the experimental group received PBL teaching for 1 hour on ratio and proportion. Subsequently, a 15-minute post-test was administered. The control group underwent a similar process but received traditional teaching methods. Data collection occurred at different intervals. Analyze will be conducted based on research questions and hypotheses using appropriate methodology. And the last one is the data analysis procedure. The effectiveness of problem-based learning (PBL) on students' cognitive development was analyzed by comparing the mean scores of the pre-test and post-test for both groups. Mean scores were calculated based on the answer to 5 structured questions on the topic of ratio and proportion, Year 6. A paired sample t-test was employed to determine if there was a cognitive development in students using PBL. This test compared the pre-test and post-test mean scores of both the experimental and control groups. So that's all from me. Thank you.